We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to disassemble and reassemble a Denon DNX600 DJ mixer so that you can replace or repair parts. Before servicing any electronics, always disconnect or unplug all power sources. My parts list consists of one flex fader crossfader, 2 effects buttons, and 1 faceplate skin. In my online search, I found my parts at instrumentalparts.com. That's www.instrumentalparts.com. They have a large assortment of new replacement parts, from small plastic pieces to analog and digital switches and boards for all types of musical equipment. Tools I use to do this disassemble: Phillips head screwdriver, 11mm deep socket shown later in the video, Q-tips, rubbing alcohol, Scotch tape, and a magnetic bowl. This Denon DNX600 mixer has 16 screws holding its faceplate. Remove all the screws and place them in your magnetic bowl. During this or any disassembly, remain organized and note the orientation, placement, size of all parts, screws, and anything else that you remove. Now remove all your knobs and dial selectors, keeping them in order by their orientation. I organized mine from top to bottom, consisting of 5 rows. You can now lift off the faceplate. Be careful at this point, because you'll find under the faceplate that there are 2 light rings and 6 dot-like diffusers that can easily be lost. This is one of the 2 effects buttons that's broken and needs to be replaced. Here you see the second one. At this point in disassembly, here you see 2 screws holding the flex fader crossfader. In helping stay organized, I replace the screws in the location I removed them from. Remember, in every step during disassembly, note the orientation of parts that you remove. Now, disconnect the electrical connection.
You don't know how to act. Maybe you should relax.
This electrical connection can easily be removed with a gentle but firm pry with your finger. If you are only replacing your flex fader crossfader, at this point you can now begin the reinstallation process by reversing all steps up to this point. But if you have other components to replace, like the effects buttons that I need to replace, you'll need to go further by removing the control panel. To remove the control panel on this DNX 600 mixer, there are 2 screws on each side, totaling 8 screws. In keeping organized, notice that I put the screws to the outside of the magnetic bowl. This way I know that they belong to the outside of the mixer. If you are following these steps of disassemble for a different type of mixer, remember, always remain organized by observing the size and placement of screws, just in case they are different sizes. Once you've removed all 8 screws, slowly and carefully lift the control panel out from the body of the mixer. You'll find that there are 2 sets of wiring connected from the control panel to the main board, but there's enough slack for you to slowly lift and access the bottom of the control panel. Now, to separate the control panel from the control board. Now is when you'll need the 11-inch deep socket that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. The ratchet portion of this tool should be used only during disassembly, but you should find that you don't need it for disassembly and definitely not for reassembly. See how the socket only is needed for this delicate device. You can organize these ring nuts in one group together because they're all the same size.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
Take the time during disassembly to do any cleaning that you see necessary. I use Q-tips to clean the lint and dust from around the dials. Once you've removed all the ring nuts and cleaned any lint and dust, you can now flip the panel over to access the screws to remove the brackets. In staying organized, be sure and note the orientation of the screws and brackets. There are 6 brackets and 1 screw holding each bracket. Again, I can't stress enough, note the orientation of what side or what part of the bracket is attached to the green board and what side is attached to the black control panel. Keep the brackets and screws organized together. Once all the brackets are removed, you'll find that there are 8 screws left holding the control panel to the control board. There are 2 groups of 3 screws found here, totaling 6. The last 2 screws, one of them is located right here. And the other of the 2 screws is located all the way atop the board on that same side. The panel and the panel board can now be gently separated. You may have to release some snap clips at the same time to release the board. You have to go this far into disassembly in order to replace the effects buttons, as they cannot be removed through the control panel. To remove the button assembly, gently pinch or squeeze and pull up. Again, note the orientation of any parts that you remove so that you can reinstall the new part in its proper orientation and positioning. To install the new part is a snap, literally. Just push down and snap it in place, making sure to orientate and position the part the way it was removed. Do more cleaning if necessary. A little huff and puff will go a long way if you don't have any of the dust removal in the can.
Samurai sword on my back. You don't know how to act.
Once you've replaced the part that you needed to replace, it's like doing reverse engineering. You want to follow all the steps that you've done to this point in reverse. Providing you kept organized during disassembly, reassembly should be a breeze. Snap the control board back into the control panel. Double check your wiring to make sure that they're not tangled and pulling on each other. Replace your 8 screws, the 2 along the sides, top and bottom, and the 2 clusters of 3 screws. Do not over tighten these screws. Finger tight or snug is all you need. Replace the 6 screws in the middle, consisting of 2 clusters of 3 screws each. Here are a few of the snap clips that hold the board in place. Now you can reinstall the control board to panel brackets and their screws. Remember what you noted about the orientation of the brackets when you were disassembling the mixer, so that you know how they reinstall. When reassembling, if you don't quite remember the orientation of your brackets and your screw holes are not lining up, try flipping the bracket around and use the other screw hole. Once you reinstalled all the brackets properly, securing the control board to the control panel, you can now reinsert the control panel into the mixer body. Again, be sure not to reinstall in the position where the wires are tangled. Remember organizing and putting those screws on the outside of the magnetic bowl? You know that these screws are the screws that you used for the outside of the mixer. Reinstall them.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...
Remember, always, before you reinstall or reassemble with your new parts, compare the parts. Compare the old parts to the new parts. Make sure that they're the right size, shape, part number, orientation, all these things. You want to make sure that they're correct for the product brand that you're working on. They can be different, but you want to check with your manufacturer to make sure that they're compatible, because it could be an upgrade or redesign. For example, take notice that the new part does not come with the mounting bracket. So you'll have to remove the mounting bracket from your old part, transfer it to the new part, and reinstall. Easy switch by removing the two inner screws. Again, you could be working with any product or any type of equipment, any electronic, anything that you're trying to repair. Disassembly is very important to stay organized and note the orientation, placement, size, color, shape of all parts that you remove.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...
Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, stop, stop.
Reconnecting the flex fader crossfader is just as easy as removing. You want to line the connections up and push and slide the connection on until it's all the way seated.
Stop, 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 stop.
Visually inspect and make sure that it's going on evenly and not crooked. Make sure when you reinstall your flex fader crossfader, you make sure to position and line up the access hole with the access hole of the faceplate on the mixer. This access hole is used to adjust the tension of your crossfader. mounting the fader, make sure that the wires inside do not obstruct the access hole.
Stop, 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 stop.
FYI, this Denon DNX 600 mixer is about 600 or so bucks retail, new. You can probably find one on eBay for about 300 bucks, and the parts that I used to recondition this mixer, which was the faceplate reskin, the flex fader, crossfader, and 2 effects buttons, totaling about 170 bucks delivered.
Stop, 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 stop.
Here I'm restoring all of the ring nuts where required.
Stop, 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 stop.
Warning, 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 warning. Reinstallation of the ring nuts tricky but not hard. Not hard at all. Okay, using your hand only with the 11mm deep socket, you're going to twist the ring nuts lightly until they start to screw on. Remove the socket and visually inspect it. Make sure that that ring nut is going straight on. And then just snug tight. Do not force the ring nuts on. When you feel resistance from the ring nut, take the socket off, inspect the ring nut. If the ring nut is in proper position, just finger tight that ring nut. If the ring nut is still at the top of its screw, unscrew and then lightly retighten again until the ring nut screws on properly.
Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop.
Okay, now let's install our faceplate reskin.
Stop, 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 stop.
I ordered my faceplate reskin from 12inchskins.com. Instrumentalparts.com carried the original complete faceplate, but they were out of stock. 12-inch skins has a variety of original and custom skins, colors, and designs for a wide array of musical equipment. Twelve-inch Skins' claim is no fade, no wear on their designs, as their markings are embedded into the material. Unlike the markings in the crossfader section on this original faceplate. skin in the mail, just inspect it to make sure that all the cutouts and all the holes and the extra material has been removed before you try to install this. Make sure and read the instructions on how to install your new skin, but I'll show you how I did it with a slight variation. They say no sanding or paint removal is required of the old faceplate, but I would thoroughly clean the faceplate with some rubbing alcohol. Make sure it's completely dry. Rubbing alcohol will usually evaporate within seconds. Again, look the new skin panel over carefully to make sure that any extra material had been removed. Take your time now and lay your new skin over your faceplate. Make sure that all the holes line up. To check this, you can turn the faceplate over, holding the skin in place to be sure that you don't see any white paper showing through any holes in the faceplate. The process now is to tightly tape one edge or one side of the skin to the faceplate. Tightly tape. This very tight taping of the skin to the faceplate is only possible because the faceplate is not attached to the mixer chassis. I tightly wrapped tape in 3 spots on one side, the upper part, the lower part, and the middle, so that the skin hinges on the faceplate like opening a book or a door. Now you simply open the book, remove the backing, and close the book, pressing firmly from hinged edge to the opposite edge. Press and smooth the adhesive skin in place. Once the skin is secured to the faceplate, remove the tape, but not this way.
Samurai sword on my back. You don't know how to act. Maybe you should relax. Maybe you should relapse. Just kidding.
This is how you should remove the tape, from the skin side first.
Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop.
Okay, let's prepare the mixer now to reinstall the faceplate.
Stop, stop. Stop, 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 stop.
Let's reinstall the 2 ring light diffusers and 6 dot light diffusers. This is a ring light diffuser and its orientation and how it should be positioned. Step side up. Reinstall the dot light diffusers in the same orientation. Step or point side up. Three in this location. One here. One here.
Stop, 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 stop.
And the last of 6 right here in the center.
Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop.
Now you can reinstall a faceplate.
Stop, stop.
You should hear when it drops into position.
Stop, 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 stop. Stop, stop.
Now reinstall a 16 faceplate screws.
Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop.
Now you can reinstall the button and dial indicators. Again, the point in being organized in the disassembly process. Reassembly is that much easier. Remember, this technique can be used to repair any electronic device, mechanical device. The key is in preparation, and in this instance, preparation is the disassembly process. Remain organized at all times.